everybody and welcome back. Who is ready for Bugtopia Freebies Week 1? This is the first challenge for the Bugtopia collaboration that I'm doing with Mandy from SunflowersAndDors. We have both released parts of a kit, so I've designed 25 pages, Mandy's designed 25 pages. Both our kits are called Bugtopia. You can find them in our Etsy shops. I also have mine in my Ko-fi shop. They are currently 25% off. So go and grab a bargain while you can. Thank you so much to everybody that has already been purchasing. The kits only went live yesterday, but I've had lots of people heading straight over there to get their hands on the kit. So thank you so much if you have already purchased. I'm very, very grateful. Also a huge thank you to Gillian. She purchased my Days Gone By journal as well. That's all packed up, ready to go to the post office on Monday. I really hope that you love that journal. But yeah, we are here for Bugtopia Week 1 Challenge. There are freebies as well. These freebies will be available in the Nonstop Papercrafts Facebook group. But if you are not part of Facebook, as I know lots of people aren't, you can also get these in my Ko-fi shop. So don't worry, you can still take part. You can still have hold of the freebies and do the challenges, because I will include them in my Ko-fi shop. Mandy is also doing this challenge. She has her video coming out onto her challenge. She also has her own set of freebies. Now, the one thing that I absolutely love about doing these challenges as part of a collaboration is Mandy and I have agreed what the challenge will be, but we haven't shown each other what we've done. So I have no idea what Mandy's design is or how she's putting her challenge together. It'll be just as much as an inspiring video for me as it is for you. So make sure you go and check out Mandy's video and go and check out her freebies as well. So this week we are making some kind of mini field notes booklet. So I will share with you my freebies and then we'll get making. Now I have got a few different pages because there are a couple of ways that you can do this particular challenge with the freebies that I've provided. As I said, Mandy will have her own freebies, so you'll have even more ways to be able to do this. But I have divided up my page into 4 sections so we can create a smaller booklet. And I've used again some of the grungier elements. So Mandy's kit had lots of blues in, so in my freebies I tried to put a bit more blue in as well. My kit is mostly green, so I have got my greens in here as well, just to kind of marry up our kits a bit as well. And then we've got lots of lovely bugs and things in here. Then we've got this page, which is the same. It's divided into 4. And then I've done an even smaller one, so this will go together like a zine. If you're not sure what a zine is or how to put one together, don't worry, I will show you. But I've got all of my different pages already set up. And it's just about folding and cutting in the right places, but I'll show you that in a moment if you're not sure. And then there are just a couple of pages that are just general plain pages that you can use either in a journal or as part of this. I actually think that's might be upside down, I don't know, I don't suppose it really matters, you can have it any which way you like. But we've got that one again. I've included some blues to tie in with Mandy's kit. Then we've got this one. You've got these lovely sort of like leafy style shapes there. And then the last one is just a kind of grungy piece of paper that's great for backing. So I've got all of my pages then obviously ready and printed. So I'm just going to move these 2 out the way. So these 2 I've just obviously printed for demonstration purposes and they are white on the back. However, these others I have printed just that grungy paper on the back of them, just so they have something on the reverse. So I think what we'll do first is the zine, because I think that's quite quick to put together, and then the others I'm going to make into another booklet. So as I said, there are 2 ways that you can do this. So if you grab this page, we'll go through how to do the zine. Now zines are basically a small magazine, so it tends to have information on. They used to have different adverts and all sorts of different things on, generally to do with a particular theme, but it's only made from 1 sheet of paper, so it kept printing costs down. And all you do is, and you don't necessarily have to have anything on the back because you might glue sections together, which I'll show you in a moment, but I have printed on the back just in case you do kind of see something. So you're going to fold it lengthways in half. So I'm just turning it around because I am left-handed, so I need to push down with my left hand. So just fold it in half like so. Make sure you've got a nice crease there, so I'm just going to grab my bone folder. You then open it out and you're going to fold it along this edge. Again, I'm just going to turn it to the side just because it's a bit easier to line up. And again, create that fold. Now you can either just fold in half again, or I tend to open it out and fold towards the middle, but it's up to you how you want to do it. I'm just going to fold it and make sure that I'm going right up to that fold line. And again, just push it down, and I'm going to do the same on this side. Oh, just going to move that out of the way. So just going up to that fold line, like so. Okay, then you're going to fold it lengthways again. And what you're going to do, I'm just going to open it up so I can show you. So where you've now got your 8 pieces, you need to make a slit across these 2 middle pieces. So there needs to be a slit there. So all I do is I fold it closed. And I know it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to see the fold lines, but there's one here and one here. And then I'm just going to grab my scissors. And I'm just going to kind of go in, starting at that fold line, and I'm just going to cut the teeniest slither off the top, just to obviously cut that bit open. And then when I get to the next fold line, I'm just going to kind of go off again. So I've now got that in the middle from one score line to the next score line. Okay, so as I said, it's just the teeniest, tiniest slither. I'm just going to snip a little bit closer, that's it, to that fold line. Okay, so now that you've done that, you're going to want to fold it down, and then where this gap now is, you want to kind of pinch those so it kind of comes together like this. Now on this, I've designed these two to be the front covers, so what you're going to do is you're just going to gently push it all round, and because obviously the bulk of all the folds, it's never going to line up perfectly, which is why sometimes it's nice to have something printed on the back. But you just want to try and encourage the folds as much as you can and align them up as best you can. But as I said, it's never going to be 100% perfect. So I'm just going to use my bone folder and just push along those points. So we've got field notes on the front, we have a back cover. As I said, there's a bit of white showing, but that's fine, we can always ink that up. And then now you have your booklet. Now when I said you don't necessarily need to print on the reverse, it's because obviously you will now have opened pieces. Now you can either just glue them all shut, so it just makes your page a bit thicker, or you can glue one side and then you can leave it open for a pocket to put things in. It is entirely up to you. I might, because you're also going to have 2 top loading pockets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my top loading pockets, but I'm going to seal up the ones that open at the side. So these ones I'm going to keep open. I just obviously need to seal them at the bottom. But these I'm going to seal up completely because there's no point for me, for what I want to do, to keep them open. So I'm just going to grab my glue. Okay, so let's glue these bits together. Now I'm probably going to do a little bit of sewing on it as well, but I'll do any sewing that I want to do at the end. So I'm just going to glue along these edges and a little bit in the middle, and then just going to smooth it out. Then that's a top loading one, so I just need to seal the bottom. So again, just going to glue stick along the bottom. And then this one, need to glue all the way down. Add a little bit in the middle. Okay, and then this last one I'm going to glue along the bottom so that I've got the top loading pocket. Excellent. So I'm going to let that all dry because like I said, I want to do a little bit of stitching and stuff. So I'm going to let that dry and then we'll come back to that. But that's essentially now the zine ready. So I've got 2 top loading pockets and then some pages. I've got obviously some decorative pages. I've got some pages where I can write some notes. So I'm going to let that dry for a moment. So I'm just going to put that to the side. I'm going to put my pin back in my glue so that doesn't dry. And then we can move on to the next one. So with this one, this is much more simple. We are literally just going to fold in half. Although you can do with this one obviously something similar to the zine where you keep the sides open. So that folds that way and then it just folds in half again. And then this will obviously form the cover. So we've got the cover, we've got the back, so that's your cover and we've already got 2 pages. Then it's just about adding more pages. So I'm going to do the same with this one. So this one's much easier and quicker to put together. Again though, you can either completely glue these together. You may decide to glue along the bottom so you've got a side pocket. You could even, I guess, even separate them all together, which actually I might do. Yeah, so I might actually just chop off that top and have individual pages. Yes, I might do that actually. But yes, you literally just keep folding your pages, and how you fold them and how you put them together is up to you. So I'm thinking if these are going to go together, well, actually it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to keep folding because like I said, I'm going to chop them down in a second anyway, so that I have individual pages. But you can, by all means, like I said, keep it like this. Either glue these shut to make the pages a little bit thicker, or glue the bottom so you've got a pocket as well. But I'm actually going to separate them. So I'm going to keep doing that for each of them. Okay, so now that we've got those, let's try and sort out the order again. So where was I? Right, so that's definitely the front cover. Field notes. Okay, I'm then going to want a patterned page. What's that? Let's just have that. So ideally I want a bug of some kind on that side. So we'll go with that one. Then, yeah, I'm going to go with one of these pages. One of these pages. And then I'm going to change it up a bit. I'm going to do that. One of these pages. And yeah, one of those pages. Okay. So that is going to be my field notes book. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to sew up the middle. But before I do any sewing, because like I said, I want to sew on my little one as well, I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping. So I've grabbed a few different stamps. So I've got this great big wood one, which I really, really love. I've got this little mushroom. I've got these from a Stamping Up set that I bought, but I really like the butterfly. Little flowers, quite cute as well. I got these from a D-stash group, which I quite like. So again, we've got little bugs and things on there, so I might use those. I've also got this bug stamp set, which has all different bugs on it. And then I've got this set, which has different kind of field note type stamps as well. So let's do some stamping. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a rubber mat in. Apparently it's supposed to be good for when you're stamping, rather than doing it on a hard table. Apparently having a bit of a sponge background is better. I don't know, we'll see. And yeah, we're just going to decorate a little bit. So as I said, I'm going to use this one. I think I might go with, oh, do I want to use Distress Oxide? So it's quite detailed, so I might actually want to use my VersaFine. So I'm just going to stamp it on. Now I really love this stamp, but I just keep forgetting using it because I keep my wooden stamps in a different place. I do forget about them, which is a shame because, as I said, it is a lovely stamp. So I'm just applying a bit of pressure. And like I said, hopefully, oh yes it does, brilliant, I like that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a quick wipe. Okay, what else can we do on this side? So I think I'm probably going to bring in some of these. So I like the field label, so we'll have that one. Again, for this particular page, I might just continue using black. Oh, might help if I have it the right way. That would be a bit of a disaster, wouldn't it, if I just ended up stamping it upside down. So field label, stick in the top corner. There we go. And like I said, I mean, it doesn't need stamps necessarily in every single little corner, but I do like using them. I think I'm going to use the kind of darker brown now. Just to kind of stamp over as well. Right, so that's that page. Then next, like I said, I'm going to keep these free because I like these for journaling, although they could be good for journaling as well, can't they? So yeah, so maybe we won't necessarily stamp every page. So what I'll do is I'm going to keep this one completely blank and we'll alternate a little bit. So this one I'll do some stamping because I don't want it to be overkill. I don't want them just to be stamped. I want to leave place for notes to actually be written. So I think I'm going to bring in this one. And I've not used this one before, so let's have a look what we've got. Oh, are they not in the right place either? That's handy. Let's have a look. What are we after? So I want that one. La Nature, something, something, something. Oh, I think that's it. So we'll go with that something. And then maybe an insect. What do we have on there? We've got a bee, so maybe I might do the bee as well, which is you. So let's just make sure that I'm sticking this the right way up. Again, doesn't have to be lots of stamping. Oh, that's actually quite sweet. I like that. Okay, and then Mr. B. And the only thing with these red stamps is obviously you can't see where you're stamping. But yeah, I actually really quite like these. Nice, nice, nice. I think I'm going to do one more over in this corner. Maybe coming down a bit. Yeah, he's cute. I like him. Right, okay, so that's those ones done. I think I want to add, just for a little bit of fun, maybe not on that side, but on this side, kind of a little Buzzy Bee trail where he's been. And this is so easy to do. You can obviously just use a little fine liner. And it just looks like he's made a little journey. I'm going to do the same with this one. Obviously we're not going to see too much of this journey because he's just flown in from the edge. But it just makes it look a little bit sweet, doesn't it? So yeah, quite like that. Right, okay, so that's that page done. Then what have we got? So we're not going to do any stamping on that one. I'm going to do some sewing though, so there will be some stitching. Then we've got this one, so let's see what we can stamp on here. Right, so I have got obviously this little butterfly, so we could have that one. And I do like the flower as well, actually. Again, just because of the fine detail, I am going to use black for this, but I might use then brown for the flower. Might do the flower first. So we've got some flowers there. I'm going to do some more up in this corner. It doesn't matter if we kind of come off the page a little bit. I think I'm going to do a couple on this edge. Again, just kind of sneaking onto the page, like so. I actually quite like it in the brown. Maybe we will do the butterfly in brown. Let's see how that comes out. Oh yeah, actually that comes out okay. Let's do one more butterfly over this side. Like so. Right, fabulous, that's that one. And then we're not doing that one. Next one. And then obviously we're not going to do that one, that's fine. Right, what have we got? So I've got these stamps which I really, really love. And I might actually have these up the middle of the page. Ooh. Oh my goodness, they are stuck on there. Oof. So I'm going to have that butterfly. Really love dragonflies, so we're going to have a dragonfly on there. So we've got butterfly, we've got dragonfly. I think we have enough space for that last butterfly, don't we? That huge one. Yeah, see the beetles I love, but they're just a bit small to go up the centre, so I'm going to use this butterfly and we'll have it like that. Okay, so I'm just going to move these out the way. We'll start with the big one at the bottom. I'm going to need something a bit bigger. Oh, I think I've just stuck my finger in it. I did. Right, so just eyeballing roughly where the crease is. There's my butterfly. Just giving it a good amount of pressure. Oh, awesome. I love that. Okay, so the next one is the dragonfly. Nope, still doesn't fit, so we're going to have to use this one again. Okay, and again, just going to aim for the middle. Really sorry if you get the ring light glare. Like so. And then this one is going to go here. Okay, I can't resist. I'm going to see if this little ladybug fits up that top bit. She's just too cute to not include. Oh, cuteness. Oh, I love it. Right, I'm now kind of thinking, I don't know if that's the middle of the page. Does that look okay? Or do I want that as like a centerpiece? I think I might do actually. I think I might have to do that, yeah. Okay, so I think I want some beetles because I do like my beetles. So he's going to come in there. And I think I'm going to do something similar to what I did with the bees. Yeah, so I might do something similar to what I did with the bees. So where it looks like they're kind of trailing around a little bit. So let's pop that on. And I can use my smaller one here. So we have you at the top. One a bit further down. And one down this edge. Okay, then again I'm just going to do that funny little trail thing that I did with the bees, and I'm going to add some other stamps on there as well. Where's my block gone? So let's do it bit by bit, and then we'll do the little trails. So maybe this corner we can have that one. I'm going to have this just coming off of that corner. Like so. And then inside that I wanted this number. Like that. Okay, then this specimen stamp I have down here. And then this one. I'm just going to sort of stamp about a bit. Okay, something like that. Right, okay, and then that's obviously going to go on the top. And that's that all done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whiz over to my sewing machine. I'm going to do a little bit of sewing on this one. I'm going to do a little bit of sewing on this one. And then I'll come back and share with you how they look. Okay, so I have done the sewing around the two field notes, and I'm actually going to keep these threads long, I think. I did want to share with you a little trick. Now, I do actually need to change the needle in my sewing machine. It does keep skipping stitches. So you can see here where it's skipped a stitch. So there is a little trick. Again, handy dandy fine liner. If you just go up to where the hole was punched, and you can draw in your stitch, and then unless somebody's looking super duper close to kind of check, nobody's going to know that you've missed a stitch. Obviously you'll need to do the same on the other side, because you can kind of see where the holes have gone, but you can't see that that's a stitch or not. It wasn't doing it on all of them, but sometimes it did miss a stitch, so I had another one there. So if you just draw it in, and then unless somebody's looking super duper close, they are not going to see it. Another teeny little trick is if you have the kind of punched hole, so stitching always looks beautiful on one side, but then it always looks a bit dreadful on the other side. If you just kind of get your ink and run over, obviously I've got a brown back, so this kind of works quite nicely, but it just gets rid of those glaring kind of punch holes, and then it doesn't look quite so obvious. So that's a little trick that you can do. Like I said, it works nicely because this is obviously a more kind of grungier notebook, but it just hides those white raised areas. So that's one of the field notes books. So like I said, this was like the zine, where it's just one piece of paper folded into shape. So that's one of them. I have still got the top pockets to do. I think I'm going to do that as when I'm kind of building my I'm actually going to make a little lap book. So when I make my lap book, I'm going to insert bits in there from the kit. So that's that one already. This one I have done some sewing on the pages, so where I kind of skipped, one had stamping, one didn't. The one that didn't is the one that I've done stitching on. So some of them I've kind of done this little pattern on, some of them I've just done the zigzag stitch, but I think most of these it didn't sort of skip any stitching. Oh, I actually forgot to do my little bug lines, didn't I? Let's do that, shall we? Little bug lines to show where the bugs have been. Just a fun little way to add some whimsy to our journal or your field notes. But yeah, so this one I decided I wasn't going to sew up the middle, because that was my original thought, wasn't it, to sew up the middle. But where I've got these, I really don't want to damage the image as much as I can. So I've got my stapler. Now this is a cool stapler because it flips out to the side, which means I can staple in hard to reach areas. So I'm going to line this up. I'm going to pop a clip on either side so it doesn't move about. And do the same on this side, I think, just to really make sure that nothing moves. And then I'm going to pop my staples in. So I'm just going to eyeball it, line it up, and hope for the best. Staple. Yeah, that's in the middle. Fabulous. And flip it round and do the same on the other side. Oh, look at that. That was on the spine as well. Sometimes I don't always make it, but that did it. And thankfully, it then doesn't disturb what's going on here. Whereas if I had a sewn line, I think that might have ruined it. So I'm glad that I decided to go with a staple. So let's take these bits off now. And then that's our book. Now I did also, let's just get rid of those. With this one I did also ink around the edge just to make this one a little bit more grungier. This one I haven't, although I am going to keep these strings possibly, maybe not quite so long. I might trim them down a little bit. But yeah, I haven't inked this one because I didn't want it to feel quite so grungy. But yeah, I really love how this has turned out. I hope that you enjoy this challenge as well, making your own little field notes booklet. Like I said, my freebies, I have 2 different sizes. I don't know what Mandy's got prepared, but definitely go and check out her video. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely amazing. And don't forget, if you post in the Facebook groups, make sure that you use the hashtag Bugtopia. It can be anything that you make, whether you make something with the kit that you have bought, or if you make something with the freebies. For each post that you make throughout June, you will get an entry into a prize drawing at the end of the month. And I'll be doing a prize drawing in my Facebook group, Nonstop Papercrafts. Mandy will be doing a drawing in her Facebook group, so you've got twice the chance of winning. So make sure that you're posting across both of them. Like I said, it could be absolutely anything, whether you've used the kit or the freebies. The only thing I will say is if you use the freebies in any of your posts, you'll get 1 entry for each post that you make. If you use the paid bought kits, then you will get 2 entries per post that you make throughout June. So this is only the week 1 challenge to make a field notes book. There are 2 more challenges coming. Next one obviously be next Sunday, and then the following Sunday. There'll be more freebies as well, so lots and lots of papers to play with. Well, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. If you are not already a subscriber, I would absolutely love for you to do so. Please also make sure that you click that bell button. That way you are notified of any new crafty videos. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.